gotta understand, we live a totally different life. See me, I'm not leaving my motherfucking man. Y'all could keep saying that he cheating on me. I used to cry about stuff like that. But once I realized I'm not gonna leave the motherfucker anyways, I don't give a f. But I cannot control a grown man.
Here's Peach McIntyre, a 37-year-old mother who built a career out of oversharing. She streamed her fights, gambling losses, and even private issues, like when her husband bought her medicine for yeast infection.
Thank you, Daddy. You prescribed me this, but you can get over the counter, ladies. I've never.
Peach is always at the center of controversy. In recent news, she was removed from a business property for calling mashed potatoes white people food.
So, yes, I have to continue to say it's white people food. It doesn't matter if you don't want to hear it. It's freedom. It's freedom of speech.
And in the years before that, she once made $1 million from a single business, then lost it all at the casino, down to the last bucks.
But yeah, we're gambling. I have $100. $100 that I'm going to.
She got banned from TikTok more than once, refused to visit her dying father, and told a woman with brain cancer that she did not care to help her.
You help me, I'm in the hospital battling brain cancer. Hell no, I don't care that you got cancer. And I did gonna screenshot it and say I'm me. I'm the wrong motherfucker to beg for him.
The most controversial topic around her is her husband-centric behavior. Peach puts her serial cheating husband first before her kids and her own self-respect.
Secondly, we move on to our intimate partner, aka our husband. Nextly, we move forward to our kids. And y'all know that lady got a husband and 9 kids.
This man was rude to her in their very first conversation.
So Peach Patch, when it comes to my husband not liking me initially, he says that he was just talking mess. Like, he liked me, he was just talking mess. But me personally, I feel like that boy did not like me.
Yet she had 9 children with him anyway. What kind of mother would embarrass herself and her family in such a way? Who is Peach McIntyre, and what exactly is she all about? Peach McIntyre is someone you might have seen on YouTube where her primary base of operation lies. She started the channel in October 2019 and has amassed up to 658,000 subscribers ever since. Once Peach started posting regularly on YouTube, her channel grew fast. She talked about grocery shopping on a budget, using food stamps wisely, and raising a big family without much outside help. People connected with her honesty. She was not pretending to have a perfect life, and that felt refreshing to a lot of single mothers watching from their own kitchens. Then came the videos that changed everything. Her breastfeeding videos. Peach began to upload videos of her breastfeeding her kids. They came in installments as she would record the first feeding time of each of her babies. And in other cases, the feeding took place in public spaces like a grocery store.
I am breastfeeding, pushing a buggy.
Or like this one when she was at a theme park in Tampa. These clips always blew up. Some were a little over 1 million views, while others were as high as 6 million views. These viral clips transformed Peach McIntyre from an average mommy vlogger to a known internet figure. However, with fame came a change in her usual content. Peach posted a lot in the span of 6 years, over 9,600 videos. But a good chunk of these videos were not always filled with mama drama. Some of them included sensitive information about her past, her family, and her very controversial love life. This love life was centered around her stay-at-home husband named Gregory Wood. Peach and Wood's relationship was not one from a fairy tale. In their marriage, Peach had found evidence of his infidelity in his truck after a random woman at Publix had spotted it and brought it to her attention.
Publix, I feel like she the one found it because she the one had me look right there and just was like, I hope it's all right.
Peach had also heard rumors from friends and strangers about her husband's behavior around town.
Springs. Is it the Springs? I began to accept it.
Not only was Wood a serial cheater, he was also violent. His arguments with Peach often got physical. One time, she claimed that she gave birth to her child while she had a black eye from one of their altercations. This implies that he hit her when she was pregnant. Yet for some reason, Peach claims she didn't find their relationship shameful.
I delivered gorgeous with a black eye. I'm no longer.
In her head, she can tolerate these things because Wood is aware of his violent tendencies and he apologizes for it.
He admits it. He apologized.
However, an apology is not something enough to stop a violent person or change them. What makes matters worse is that Wood didn't only hit Peach, but also her mom, Treasy.
Actually, she had like a black eye or something. I don't know. He did. He threw the bottle at her and hit her. He didn't just walk up and bam, he threw it and it hit her. And I'm not justifying what he did.
Wood had thrown a bottle at Treasy's head over an argument for some unknown reason. After the incident, Peach's mother called the police on Wood and pressed charges against him. But in the same situation, Peach expressed that she wouldn't have done the same. For her, pressing charges seemed to make the situation appear bigger than it actually was.
After this, my mom and them called the police. Wood went to jail. They called him downstairs. He went to jail, and she pressed charges. I wouldn't press charges.
This tells you a lot about how deep-rooted her love and devotion for Wood was. She would defend the man who has cheated on her multiple times and assaulted her own mother any day and any time. Part of the reason why she had submitted to this pitiful life is that Peach herself has accepted that her husband is a cheater.
It's on me. I don't know who. It could be a man. I don't know where. It could be in a van. But he cheats on me. And I stay. Once I accepted that he cheats and I stay, it don't bother me no more. Now that it don't bother me, I don't.
Rather than taking the bold step by leaving for the sake of her children, she would put up with Wood and rant about his excesses on social media. She would cry online, lamenting about how she couldn't control him.
I cannot control a grown man. I even tested out a nannies. I can't control it.
And she would call him out for being a lazy bum of a husband. Like this one time when she was very irritated by the way he was sleeping instead of putting in the work as the man of the house.
And Wood is still asleep. All of the children are awake and Wood is still on the couch, sleep. I would lie and say, I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it bothers me because you broke. You did not pay any bills. You don't have any money. Why are you sleeping so long? Like, get up, let's get going. Get out with your kids or just get out with yourself and make some shit happen. And he don't, and that infuriates me. But anyways, he eventually got up.
Peach broke down online saying that she can afford to get a nanny but doesn't want to because she wants to be present in her children's lives. Also, it wouldn't make sense to do that when her stay-at-home husband is still living in the same house with them. Peach hoped that Wood would step up and act like a father to her kids for once.
More than enough money to pay a nanny. Let me go fucking hard for these 8 days to get my nest egg even bigger. I want to make $30,000 a day. I have not hit that mark yet because you keep fucking frustrating me. And I keep trying to let it not frustrate me. Like, okay, he won't step up with the kids, I'll do it myself. But then I need to be out making content.
She wants to work and not miss out on her children's growth, but it seems like too much to ask for in her current marriage.
When I'm with my kids, I want to be present in the moment with my kids. But I gotta work because I done pulled myself up out of poverty and I refuse to fucking go back. I don't want to go back broke. I don't want food stamps ever again in my life. I don't want WIC. I don't want Medicaid. I don't want to live in the hood.
Wood had a habit of disappearing for stretches of time, and when he was around, he often left the hardest parts of parenting to Peach alone. She built her entire schedule around content creation and online classes, sometimes running on only a few hours of sleep a night while Wood slept through the morning after coming home late. The content creation landscape isn't easy to maneuver, especially for a mother of 9. Peach's YouTube had already been monetized 5 years after its opening, and soon after she created a TikTok account, so the burden of shooting content was too much on her plate alongside her motherly duties. Yet the man she was co-parenting with wasn't even up to the task.
From the casino last night at like 1:20 a.m. I woke him up at 8:20 a.m. Like, hey, better get your kids. All the kids woke, which is what I want. I wanted them on the schedule. Everybody is woke. He sleep. Get up and get your kids. Get your day started. I just want to stay home all day and edit videos and clean up and just relax, think, clean. When I gotta come wake you up, we already fucking with my energy. We already getting off task. Remember.
Peach acknowledged that she was part of the problem because she enabled this lazy behavior. She had been so blinded by love that she let her man walk all over her. She would pump in the money while Wood benefited from her. It was so bad that Peach would give Wood money to gamble with at the casino, and he'd always end up losing everything without consequence.
In my purse, and I gave him some cash so he could have a blast. I am a part of the problem. I am an enabler. I keep saying, I ain't gonna help him no more. I'm done with him. And then when we get in the casino, here you go, Wood. Try to get it back, Wood. You got this, Wood. And Wood lose all his damn money and all mine.
Wood consistently.
She also confessed that she paid Wood directly to help care for their children. In her own words, she pays her husband $10,000 to look after their kids to her own standards.
$10,000 to watch your own children to my standards. That's the purpose of me giving you the money. So it could be to my standards.
By her standards, she means taking her kids out to play and eat when she's away for work.
I want my children watched to my standards, not his. See, if I wasn't busy working and I was watching my children, we would be going to the aquarium, the children's museum, skating, different amusement parks. We would be going everywhere. I would be reading to them, drawing with them, cooking for them, or taking them out to eat. Like, they would literally be watched to my standards.
Peach defended this habit online, saying that Wood's standards are different from hers, so in order to not feel guilty about anything, she would pay her husband to watch over their kids the way she saw fit.
But me and my husband's standards differ. So in order to motivate him to watch them to my standards so I can work and not feel guilty about being away from them, I want them watched to my standards, and I don't mind paying him $10.
She also shared that she sees no problem in doing that since she earns more than her husband.
This is how I feel. I feel like, as a black woman who out-earns her husband currently, it is okay for me to cover all the bills. I have no problem.
But it's not as if Wood doesn't have a means of making money. Peach has stated before that he receives money from YouTube and Facebook.
When Wood got paid from YouTube, we got paid on August 21st from YouTube, August 22nd from Facebook. My husband had thousands of dollars.
He has his own way of earning money, yet he still relies on his wife and doesn't try to help ease the burden on her shoulders. Wood would rather spend money on himself than spare some change for his family. One time, he was caught spending money on himself and not his own family. Peach had documented this moment. She had run into Wood while she was out shopping and was hit with a wave of resentment after seeing him buy things for himself. This made her super annoyed because she was always the one covering everything for their kids.
He just came and said, Mom, guess who I said? I said, who my mom? He said, no. I said, who my brother? He said, no. I said, who your daddy? He said, yeah, come look. Look at this. This is not a skit. This man just got his check today, baby. Ain't called his turn.
When I was looking inside, you thought...
What you bought my TV? You know they're shopping for you. What you bought?
Peach was so disappointed that she handed over their baby to him.
So who you shopping for? Your girlfriend? You ain't bought the kids nothing. You ain't called me. Get your baby. Get your baby. Get your baby. The nerve. The nerve.
I thought I was
I'm up
tripping.
here stressed and everything. The nerve. Oh my God, I am in shock. This man real deal in here buying him shoes.
I knew
He
he was
ain't
gonna
called
be
his kids. He ain't asked if they need nothing. I'm in here spending my hard-earned money buying 7 kids clothes and shoes, and this nigga in here buying his own stuff, shoes and clothes.
That same day, though, in a twist that shows how quickly the story could flip, Wood showed up with bags from Marshall's, having apparently gone out and bought the kids something after all, following the confrontation.
We see Mr. Wood. Wood done went to Marshall's after I done cussed him out and called him all kinds of deadbeats. He done went to Marshall's and got the kids some stuff. Now, I didn't even know Marshall sells stuff like this, but he say he went to Britain Plaza. The Marshalls by our house, they don't.
This was just a one-time affair, though. The amount of times Wood spends on his family are few and far between. More recent footage has revealed how much Peach has spent for her husband's sake. She has posted about Wood paying more than $24,000 towards one of Wood's child support obligations, a figure that left a lot of her viewers stunned, given that Wood has been a stay-at-home father with no steady income of his own.
County clerk office paying my husband's child support. $10,000, $20,000, $22,000. $24,000 plus $100. That'll take care of that $24,086.06 balance. Patience is a virtue.
Some commenters speculated the payment was staged for content, but that theory did not hold up well once people pointed out that Wood simply wouldn't spend that much money on his family, even if he was able to raise it on his own. He would rather splurge at a casino, even though he ends up losing.
Gonna get me a Sprite. Let me see if my angry husband gonna buy it for me. He done lost his little money, child. Daddy, can you buy me this? Huh, Daddy? Daddy, you ain't talking to me? Oh, okay. Let's see how you get home then. You'll be happy to get a safe ride, because I'm going to leave you. You really ain't going to talk to me today? Babe, you act like I love you.
It makes no sense for Peach to pick up her husband's tab for his kids when their able-bodied father was still alive and breathing. Both of them were toxic for each other, yet they stayed together and brought out the worst of each other. Their fights were on and off for a long duration in their relationship. Eventually, Peach reached a breaking point. She kicked Wood out of the house after one minor issue got on her nerves. Wood's truck broke down while Peach was driving it, and he blamed her for it. Mind you, this was a truck she paid for, complete with a warranty. Yet instead of trying to fix the problem, he pushed the blame completely on Peach.
Came back. The way I got Wood out of our house was Wood car broke. When his car broke, he blamed me for breaking it because it broke when I was driving it. I'm like, Wood, it's not a big deal. You have a warranty. I bought an extended warranty when I bought your truck. Just go to the dealership. He was so mad because I can't drive his car anymore. Went to the dealership. They said it would take 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wood was furious about the situation and declared he could not drive the truck anymore. The dealership told him repairs would take 2 to 3 weeks. That gave Peach an opening she had clearly been waiting for.
When Wood went to take his car to the dealership to get fixed, I didn't come pick him up. He went to his mama's house, and I said, you know what, you just need to stay there.
She has described this moment almost like an answered prayer, something she'd been begging for without knowing how it would actually happen.
I prayed this man out of my house. I kept asking God, God, please give me an out. I'm so sick of this relationship. God, please. And God gave me an out, and I took it.
Peach was ready for a divorce. She packed up her kids, dropped them off with her sister, and went straight to a jewelry store to cash in pieces Wood had bought her, using the money to fund the separation and buy her children clothes. She expressed that Wood could keep the truck for all she cared, but the jewelry was hers.
I'm fed the fuck up. My brother came and got me, and I'm just up there crying like a big old dummy because I love my husband. I really do, but I'm sick of his shit. I'm done. So I stopped by Little Caesars, got my kids some pizza, left them at my sister's house, pulled up to the jewelry store, because who? Baby, you might could keep that truck I paid $57,000 for, but that jewelry I bought, oh, it's mine. I needed to pay for my divorce and to buy my baby clothes and shoes. Yeah, they handed me the...
She said at the time that she meant it. She was really going to cut ties with her husband and end the toxic cycle.
My husband is trying to work his way back into living with us. He feel like I'm never going to leave him. I'm not serious about divorcing him, just like many of you. But I just want you all to know I am serious. I really want to leave my husband, and I truly want to get divorced. I am divorcing this man.
For a while, it seemed like Peach was really doing good for herself. Her head seemed clearer than it ever did with the way she was arranging her life for the better.
Challenging. I've been with Wood since I was 16 years old. I lost my virginity to Wood. All 7 of my children are from Wood, from my husband. And so it's hard. I know one of my biggest issues is that I'm double-minded. On one end, I'm praying for God to remove this man from my house, from my life. He's toxic. Give me the resources that I need to take care of my children without him. You know, give me the strength that I need to just keep going for my 7 kids.
While reflecting, Peach connected the dots on something that had been happening to her for years. Her emotional dependence and weakness for Wood was not ordinary. She realized that every time she tried to leave him, she ended up pregnant again. Peach called this reproductive abuse because she felt the urge to stay with her husband whenever a new baby was on the way.
I recently learned about reproductive abuse. I didn't know that was a thing. It's funny because every time I be trying to leave my husband, I get pregnant. And I tell myself, oh my God, I'm pregnant. That means I need to stay with him. That means we meant to be together like God wants us.
Reproductive abuse is a real, recognized pattern within intimate partner violence. It typically refers to things like birth control, sabotage, pressuring someone into pregnancy, or controlling someone's reproductive choices against their will. It's a legitimate term, not something Peach made up. However, it's possible that that might not be the only thing going on with this dynamic. Wood sucks the life and energy out of Peach whenever he's around. Times that they're separated, she recounts that she's always active with her kids and herself, but when he's not around, she always feels the need to sleep.
Wood just wasn't around. I'm like going hard for my kids. I'm making sure on the weekends, we going somewhere. The weekends is day days. Now Wood around, I find myself tired, drained. Like I want to go home right now and go to sleep. Versus normally I'm up.
Looking at the shape of Peach and Wood's relationship over the years, it starts to resemble something psychologists often call trauma bonding, a pattern where a person stays attached to someone who hurts them, partly because the good moments feel more intense after the bad ones, and partly because leaving starts to feel harder than staying. For Peach, it's possible that the good moments were only good in her head, because when you really come to know how these two started out, you would instantly tell that they were not a match for each other. So it was good that she seemed to take their separation seriously for once. Unfortunately, the peace did not last because when Wood's truck was repaired, he was back at her door, and Peach let him back in almost immediately, despite everything she had just said about being done. During the close to 2 weeks they were apart, Wood spent most of his time at the casino, gambling away what little money he had. He didn't check in on his kids and only reached out to Peach when he wanted some bedroom action. Then when he wasted all of his money, he went back to his family under the pretext of wanting to help out.
Came to the casino and lost all of his money. Once he lost his money, oh, he won't to be a family. Oh, you know you could call me if you need help. I'll help you. You ain't gotta be out here struggling by yourself. But nigga, when you had money, you ain't give a fuck. And like a dummy, I let him come over here to help me clean.
In all these things, Peach still gave him money to gamble, even though she knew he wasn't worth it.
Now, last night when Wood got ready to leave to come back to the casino, I done gave him some money like a fucking dummy. Again, he finna come to the casino. his car gets flat. He catch a flat tire. And I said, that's what you get. I've been with these kids for nearly 2 weeks without your help. You ain't been calling us or nothing. You only text me to try to have intercourse with me. You ain't called and checked on your kids.
This was a man who called her to renew help with a flat tire. Peach believed he could afford it, but still wanted her to handle it.
He calls me, and I'm like, oh my God, he called me again. So why is this man blowing up my phone? Must be something important, right? I call him, and this man say, the AAA membership expired. The AAA membership expired. He want AAA to come put on his donut because his tire flat. Wood. You could handle that on your own. Like, I'm winning. Like, I don't need this energy. That don't got nothing to do with me. Your truck being flat don't got nothing.
She was self-aware about how quickly she folded, framing herself as the one who gave in rather than Wood forcing his way back.
I end up letting Wood come over to our new house, and he said how he want to be a family and he missed me and the kids, yada, 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 yada. Of course, me being a dummy I am, I fall for it. I love my husband at the time. He my baby daddy. I want it to work. I would love to be a family with this man. I love him, right?
But even after the truck situation resolved and Wood was technically welcomed back, the actual return happened gradually rather than all at once. Peach noticed his belongings reappearing around the house piece by piece without any real conversation about him moving back in for good.
Come back in your house. His stuff's still in here, but he started moving stuff in. I'm like, Wood, what is you doing? You not moving back in here? He was like, I ain't studying you. We ain't breaking up. You ain't never leaving me.
The sheer audacity in that statement tells you all you need to know about Wood's thought process when it comes to Peach. Because she had let him have his way with her for so long, he knew that she would always take him back no matter what. And this separation and divorce situation ended just the same way he expected. Peach let it slide. Nothing changed still. Wood continued to cheat on her and Peach continued to document it. In the internet archives, you can find videos of her talking about her husband's messy habits. She once caught Wood on the phone with another woman.
Wood, I'm in the bed laying down like sleep, and I get up. Because Wood not in the bed with me, I go in the kitchen and find Wood on the phone with another girl. Like, when we was broken up, I done had an amazing life, and we're broken up. He's dating and going on dates.
Months after the truck incident, Wood told Peach that he hated her and wanted to move out. And as always, Peach posted about it on her YouTube channel.
Lady got a husband, and he cheating on her. 7 kids, and she's pregnant with twins, and today I'm getting...
In this video, Peach explained that she was meant to get some of their kids from him in Tampa, because that was their agreement. Wood started calling their son's phone repeatedly because Peach had blocked him on her own line. He was desperate to hand over the children to her so he could leave. Somewhere in between, Wood had hit a cyclist, but there was no problem, and the person didn't press charges, according to Wood.
Wood left home, so as soon as I got to Tampa, he was in Tampa, blowing up Gregory McKay's phone because I had him on block, talking about get the kids, where am I? He ended up pulling up to the African braiding shop and just bringing me choice, and then he pulled off with the other kids, hit somebody that was on a bicycle. Thank God the person was all right. I met him and got the kids. The person ain't called the police or nothing. That's what Wood claimed. And I got...
The pair got into a verbal altercation at the rendezvous spot before Peach took all of her kids to eat at McDonald's.
The kids, we got into a little altercation. He told me that he's moving out. He can't stand my guts, all this stuff. We both started cussing and yelling at each other in the parking lot of the bank.
This back and forth was the kind of content you would see on her page. The ups and downs in this family are very well known on the internet because of Peach's social media page. The worst part is that Peach often gaslights herself online, saying that her husband loves her regardless of their issues. She did this when he bought her medicine for yeast infection.
Thank you, Daddy. Woo. The dog is hot for you. You prescribed me this, but you can get over the counter later.
And she also boasted about his love for her when he helped take off her lace wig.
Wood don't love Peach. Who don't love Peach? Because if he don't love me, why he helping me take off my lace wig? I mean, it don't look like he's budging. She said you can keep this on for 2 to 3 weeks. I believe you. I believe you.
The bare minimum was enough for her to shut up about her husband's cheating allegations and laziness, and for her to remain in such a loveless marriage. Peach wrapped up the entire show and continues to post more endearing videos about her and her husband, including one where she shows her audience how she kisses her man. It makes you wonder what exactly had pushed Peach to become someone with very low self-respect. Long before Peach McIntyre had a following, she was just a kid trying to survive childhood. She was born on April 16, 1989, and grew up in Tampa, Florida, in a family that was big, loud, and complicated. Peach has said in her own videos that her parents sold drugs.
Sold drugs. I have an uncle that was a drug lord. My brother's dad was a drug lord. They all been to prison. So when I say most black men from Tampa, I mean most black men from Tampa. Y'all do know my husband.
She was surrounded by drug dealers, and she idolized them because these were proper businessmen to her.
I grew up in the projects, like the businessmen that I idolized were drug dealers. They sold drugs, which was illegal, but they were great businessmen. Like, they cared about their customers. They had great customer service. They were friendly to kids.
Money in her house came and went depending on how the business was going. This early exposure forced Peach to start hustling as a little girl. She began to sell her free school lunch to drug dealers in the neighborhood during the summer, and a little later she started buying bottled water cheap and reselling it for 5 times the price. Her mother Treasy and her father Pete never gave her the kind of steady home life. Peach was the second of 3 kids to her mother. She had an elder sister and a younger brother. However, the family tree was much wider and complicated than that. Her father had over 20 children with several different women.
I don't know the nigga. My daddy got over 20 kids, 16 or 17 baby mamas. I don't know that man. I don't know him.
As for her mother, Peach accused her of fraud. According to her, she had committed fraud with food stamps in Section 8.
My mama was so fucking dumb. She's one stupid bitch. Instead of my mama signing up for the family self-sufficiency program and then letting the people know that she's married so her rent go up, so then her and her husband can buy a house with their Section 8 voucher. Instead, she committed fraud for years, never told Section 8 she was married. And then when they caught on to her with this good job and was about to find out she's married, she's like, ooh, I'm gonna give my Section 8 voucher to drilling peaches. But then I'm gonna still stay there.
Home life was not gentle for her at all. Peach once stated online that she wanted to kick her own bucket at the age of 8 due to the name calling she faced from her or her own family.
Being called fat, being called stupid, Big Bertha, big good, dirty neck. My mom used to say my neck was dirty. She did it on purpose to purposely hurt me. And it's not the first time she's done something like this. Shit like this been happening my whole life with my mom. I was even driving thinking, like, the first time I had a suicidal thought, I was 8 years old.
This kind of desire consumed her from time to time in her childhood. In one other clip, she described wanting to jump into the ocean despite not knowing how to swim.
Like, I want to jump in the ocean and I can't swim when I was 8 years old. And it was because I was constantly being teased, like, you fat, Big Bertha, big My mama scrubbing my neck with alcohol, but she wait until we get in front of everybody and be like, your neck's so dirty. You so dirty. I just been so dirty.
She often described this incident of her mother scrubbing her neck with rubbing alcohol until it turned red, while calling her dirty in front of other family members, because it happened repeatedly, even into her adult life.
Scrubbing my neck with alcohol until it's red in front of everybody laughing, and you talking about how dirty I am.
That kind of humiliation, especially when it happens over and over in front of family members who are supposed to protect you, leaves a mark. Peach has said this memory followed her long after she grew up and stood on her own. By the time Peach reached high school at age 16, she met Gregory Wood, who she usually just calls Wood. The person we now know had become the center of nearly every chapter of her adult life. Their whole relationship started when her best friend told her that Wood liked her, which turned out to be untrue, or at least Wood never confirmed it directly.
Like, I was so heartbroken, and my best friend at the time, she told me I needed to move on. She was like, you keep talking about this boy, you keep crying about this boy, you need to move on, you need to move on. And she ended up lying and telling me that my current husband, well, one day she was like, girl, Fred like you, he is obsessed with you. And I was like, that boy don't like me.
Peach had a feeling her friend was lying to her, but she still bought it. From that very moment, it was as if the revelation cast a spell on her. Peach didn't believe that Wood liked her, but she started paying more attention to him and tried to see it through, even though he had a child at that point.
I'm like, girl, he be talking to you, he never talked to me. And she was like, no, girl, all he do when he talking to me, the whole time he talking to me, he's talking about you. So I'm like, what? Like, I never noticed him doing any of those things. That boy was not thinking about me. But anywho, I started looking at him then after she told me that. I started, like, paying attention. I was like, well, he's kind of cute. You know, she was like, but he got a baby. Like, you could talk to him. But
now that she had a crush on Wood, Peach wrote him a note, passed it along through the same best friend.
I was in science. I was writing him a letter, and it wasn't coming out that great because I'm not really an artist. So one of my friends in science, she actually drew what I wanted to say. And it was a paper. It said, I see you watching me. So it was the I, and then the cute letter C, and then the U. I see you watching me with a watch. You might as well call me. And real small, it had my name and my phone.
That night, Wood called her for the first time, but instead of giving her a reasonable response, he only asked when they would make out.
And she gave him the note. And that night, my husband called me, and our first phone conversation went like this. Hello? Yeah, so when you want to fuck?
This was nothing close to romantic, but Peach rolled with it. For her, Wood was the only person she was capable of loving with such intensity, even though he couldn't reciprocate half of that energy. And the crazy part is that Peach herself knew the honest truth. Wood struggled with faithfulness from the very beginning, and Peach has admitted that she knew, deep down, that he never truly loved her the way she loved him.
Peach Badge, when it comes to my husband not liking me initially, he says that he was just talking mess. Like, he liked me, he was just talking mess. But me personally, I feel like that boy did not the sweetest. Like, when we talked on the phone the first time, so rude. I told y'all what he said initially. When we gonna fuck? When you want to fuck? Boy, what?
She saw the red flags, but she ignored it and stayed anyway. Their relationship escalated quickly. Peach became pregnant with her first son, Gregory McKay, while she still had a full scholarship lined up for college. Peach had been determined to become a teacher or a lawyer, but as her senior year approached, and her dedication to Wood deepened, she eventually decided to stay behind and start a family instead of going away to school.
I've been talking about this to my husband for about a year and a half. Like, I'm going off to college. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a lawyer. Like, I'm going off to college. I worked so hard to get to that stage in my life. But as it was approaching, my husband started to be like, he said he gonna lose me. He said that I'm gonna go to college without him. What he gonna do without me, things of that nature. So it made it where I didn't want to go off to college without him. I wanted to stay and be.
She's openly admitted that stopping her birth control was a decision made partly to keep the relationship together. Peach gave up her scholarship, gave up the plan to become a teacher or a lawyer, and stayed with Wood instead. It did not take long for that decision to look like a mistake, though. They would go on to have physical fights one too many times. Peach described one of these fights that had started when Wood spotted her talking to her ex-boyfriend from high school. It happened at their son's, Gregory McKay's, birthday party. They weren't in a committed relationship then because Wood was promiscuous at the time.
I remember on Gregory McKay's first birthday party, my husband and I got into a fight because he kept like being promiscuous, messing with all these girls, and I just was like super sick of it. We weren't really together, but he came to Gregory's first birthday party. Well, I invited my high school boy.
Peach had invited him to her son's birthday party since they were communicating. They were talking when Wood saw them and lashed out at Peach.
But we used to just make out. It never got past that. He came to Gregory McKay's birthday because we had started back communicating, and when my husband left with his friends and me and the boy was out there talking, Wood happened to drive back past for some odd reason, and he lost it, and he beat my ass, to be honest. Dragged me down the street by my house, by my hair, just like went crazy. Where was the boy? The boy had left, like, ain't got time for this. And that's when me and him went to.
During the altercation, Wood confessed that he never truly cared for her, and that he had only gotten her pregnant so she would not leave for college.
During that altercation, he was dragging me down the street by my house. And when he was dragging me down the street by my house, he told me that he never liked me. He just had a baby with me so I wouldn't go off to college and leave him, and I'm going to forever be his. How do you feel about that statement? Did you never?
Their relationship was so unhealthy, and so is Peach's oversharing habits. What mother would recall such an embarrassing incident on the internet while her husband is barely invested in the topic? This is exactly what makes Peach's situation disturbing. She makes light of deep and sensitive issues, whether it's about her or someone else.
Like, that boy did not like me. But he eventually started to like me, and he was just the sweetest. Like, when we talked on the phone the first time, so rude. I told y'all what he said initially. When we gonna fuck? When you want to fuck? Boy, what? I'm a virgin. You know, and he had to approach me differently after that. During those 9 months of us getting to know each other, I thought
In her life, the only other two people she truly loved were her stepfather and great-grandmother. Her stepdad walked into her life at age 12 and had been present ever since.
You had left Gregory party, and then you came back by, and I was outside by the road talking to somebody, and you just lost it.
The boy is right now?
Yeah, he ended up leaving. He don't remember.
Peach loved him so much that she bought him a new car. Her stepfather had relied on a single household vehicle for a long stretch of time, and they got inconvenienced when the car broke down and was taken for repairs. So Peach used some of her early earnings to get him his own car so her mother would not have to share anymore.
I love my stepdaddy, me father, my daddy. I love him. Anything I need, I can call him. Any emotions I'm going through, I can call him. Since I was 12, I am 34 years old, 22 years of my life. Since I was 12, been present. Birthdays, childbirths, relationship problems, internal problems consistently.
Apart from her stepdad, Peach has said more than once that her great-grandmother was the only person who ever made her feel truly loved.
Since I was little, nobody has liked me but my great-grandma. That's it. My great-grandma.
For Peach, this woman was her pillar of support. When her great-grandmother passed away, Peach described it as one of the most painful losses of her life, because it arrived around the time she faced a business collapse and a bout of depression.
Grandma died. That was like losing my mama. Everything happened at one time. My great-grandma died in 2015. I'm going broke in 2015, going through depression with money. That whole come all the way out to Ruskin for money. Oh, I need this for my bills. I'm giving her casino chips because I kept my money in chips. I got $1,000 casino chip. Here, you can have it. That's the only time that hoe visit me. To this day, this is all.
Losing her great-grandmother felt like losing the only stable relationship she had ever had, and everything else difficult in her life seemed to pile up in that same window of time. She eventually picked herself up and started working to make money for her family, money that her husband would also leech off of. This was long before Peach stepped into the realms of content creation. In her early career, she worked in a leasing office, helping manage apartment rentals and dealing with tenants. That job, along with freelance resume writing, was how she scraped together money during some of her hardest years as a young single mother. She never held a social work license, and she never worked full-time as a licensed real estate agent, even though her real estate content online years later sometimes made it sound that way. The leasing office job was steady, unglamorous work, the kind of job that keeps the lights on, but rarely gets talked about once someone becomes internet famous. Peach has occasionally referenced her time in property management when giving advice to viewers who ask about breaking into the housing industry, sharing tips about background checks and appeal processes for people with criminal records.
So don't sweat it. If you are a felon and you want to get into real estate, go for it. All they can do is tell you no. And even if they tell you no, you can.
Soon after, she started charging for resumes. For a long time, Peach did resumes for free, even though people around her, including co-workers, kept telling her she should charge for the service. It took a stranger reaching out online and offering to actually pay her before Peach realized her skills were worth something.
She shot to me on social media, asked me on Instagram, asked me to do her resume. And I told her no. I was like, no. She said, I'll pay you. And I was like, you'll pay me? You'll what? On this particular day, the girl said she'll pay me. So I said, okay, pay me $50 and I'll do you a resume, a cover letter, a reference sheet, and 2 job applications. And she was like, okay, come get the money.
That single transaction, which was paid through a prepaid card because Peach did not even have enough gas money to get to the pickup point, marked the beginning of her charging for her work. From there, she built up a small business doing resumes and job placement help, and eventually that turned into her own company, which she named Waste Language Inc. This was in 2014 when she was 25 years old. Waste Language started as a straightforward waist trainer product line, and later expanded into an online education / a coaching brand that teaches other people how to build similar income streams, sell products, and grow a following. This is also the business that made Peach a millionaire within months. But the waist trainer business is where things get messy, and where Peach's reputation for burning bridges really started to take shape. According to Peach's own account, the idea did not begin with her. Her sister had a waist trainer brand first, and Peach worked for her for a while. After a falling out between the two of them, Peach decided to start her own competing business using many of the same connections and vendors her sister had already built.
I start my own business, and I'm going to make more money than you. You going to regret. In a business with Peach, you get my real vendor that I stole from my sister.
Her sister was understandably furious. That single decision sparked a family feud that has never really healed, and it set a pattern that would repeat again and again throughout Peach's life. One where she'd burn relationships, keep the profit, and never look back. For a while, the business boomed. Peach became a millionaire within months, something she still talks about with pride. However, she wasn't a consistent millionaire. Just as quickly as the money came, it disappeared. A large part of that loss came down to gambling, which was both her own habit and Wood's. It's also possible that she inherited it from her father. Peach has admitted this herself, describing how she went from having more money than she had ever seen in her life to being flat broke almost overnight. She kept losing money no matter how many times she tried gambling, and each time she would film herself feeling at a loss.
$900 in a day. I lost that in like 2 hours. And I just called my husband and I told him, I'm banning myself from this place.
When all the money was gone, Peach didn't have a dime to spare for rent, and this led to her receiving an eviction notice in late 2024.
And last year, on December 12th, 2024, I had an eviction filed. I had gambled all of my money, like every single drop. I got in Orlando with my family in November, went to Miami to the casino, did okay, didn't really lose or win. Then after that, came back home to Tampa and I lost everything I had. every single thing I had.
Somewhere in the same stretch of years, Peach also made a very disturbing and horrible decision. Her family had built a company together, and Peach eventually sold it. For a woman who talks constantly about legacy, family, and proving people wrong, walking away from something her own family had built together seemed like a case of her disconnecting from something that no longer served her. The sale of that company has never been discussed by Peach in great detail on her own channel, but the fact remains that the business no longer belongs to the family, and its absence lines up with the same stretch of years when Peach's relationships with several relatives began falling apart for good. Some might see the sale as simply a practical decision made during a period of financial stress. However, it's still one more example of Peach prioritizing her own short-term needs over anything shared with the people who raised her. Once the waist trainer money dried up, life got hard again, fast. Peach never moved on from the fact that she was once a millionaire. She kept talking about it in her videos.
Years ago, like a decade ago, and that's how I was able to get off Section 8 food stamps. Then I went broke. About 2 years later, I was, really could say a year and a half later, dead broke because I did not have any financial literacy skills. And I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I just felt like, God, how can I fall from grace like that?
She claimed that she had turned to an atheist at this point. She hated God and believed he was real, and this lasted for 2 years.
From grace like that, I began to hate God. I went atheist. I was atheist for 2.5 years. Like telling people God ain't real. I literally still have those posts on my Facebook page where I told people God not real.
Peach was at her lowest. Her 2 cars became repossessed in 1 month, and she needed food stamps just to keep her kids fed. However, it wasn't easy to get them because her income was still too high for government benefits.
Could not get food stamps because my income was still too high. Oh my God, it was so rough. My son couldn't qualify for free lunch at school.
She eventually hit her lowest and was qualified for it. Peach has talked about this period with a strange mix of shame and pride, insisting that being on public assistance did not make her a bad mother or a lazy person.
Shame me for receiving food stamps and receiving WIC, like, oh, my tax dollars, my tax dollars. Guess what? I pay taxes too, just like you. I'm not ashamed of currently receiving food stamps or WIC benefits. Nobody on this platform is going to make me feel ashamed. Black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, nobody. I'm not gonna be ashamed of where I currently am.
But here's the thing about her period of self-introspection. Peach didn't blame her gambling addiction or the shaky, dishonest foundation she had built her business on. Instead, she attributed her downfall to a supernatural force, and that's how it's always been with her. She would blame everyone for everything, from her family to God, except Wood. We've already seen how she didn't condemn him for assaulting her own mother. In her mind's eye, Wood is more valuable to her than Treasy, the woman who gave birth to her. And this brings us to the dynamic between Peach and her mother. Peach often badmouthed her family, specifically her mother. She claimed that her mother always collected money from her. One time, she stated that she paid her mother $4,000 and an extra $1,000 to look after her kids, whereas she would watch Peach's sister's kids for free.
My children while I went out of town and gave you another $1,000 to watch them for one day so I could clean my house and fix my new couch. And you still took my sister kids with you for free. The same issues you...
But Peach's mom contested this notion, saying that her daughter offered her money to look after her grandkids. It was a token of appreciation and not payment like she made it seem.
I love my grandkids. I love all my grandkids. My grandkids can tell you I am a sucker for them. I'm that nana that's a sucker. I never tell my daughter she got to pay me. She offer me money to keep her kids.
Treasy claimed that the only thing she asked Peach to do when it comes to her grandchildren is for her to bring food along during the babysitting hours since she can't cook.
I ever tell my daughter, when she bring her kids to my house, you know you got to bring juice, you got to bring food for them to eat. Because I don't buy food. I do not buy food. I buy when I get ready to eat. I don't have little kids over there.
It's possible that Peach might have mixed some lies in everything she has spoken about on the internet. In one video, Peach shared that her mother had returned a $100 loan and that it had been a good luck charm for her at the casino because she won $5,000.
To bring me back my $100 that she borrowed last time we was in here, I feel like that ended up being like a good luck charm because now I'm winning. Well, really, this $5,000, $25, so I'm profiting $4,825 because I started with $200. I want to leave. My mama said I need to leave, so let's cash these chips in. We're gonna turn these $1,000 chips into cash.
The mother she always framed as a villain returned a $100 loan and told her to leave the casino. Also, Peach was feeling generous that day that she tipped someone $5. But she didn't mention anything about tipping her good luck charm, aka her mother.
All right, Peach Patch, and here's the money because I know you love to see it. All right, Peach Patch, and here is the money because I know you love to see it. $5,020. I did tip the people $5. They gave me my little money. I was feeling generous today. It's not necessary, but yeah, make sure y'all gamble responsibly. We don't always win, baby, but when we do, it's a good time.
Maybe she did that behind the cameras. Maybe she didn't after all. It's not like she owed anyone her own money. But here's what makes this case confusing. How realistic is it for someone accused of being a leech to return a loan amount that is significantly smaller than the money they have received in total? Does it make sense that a mother would take a $100 loan from her child, who supposedly always gives her money, without returns? Now bear in mind that this is not to side with anyone, because these kinds of arrangements could exist in real life. It's just that Peach has been caught in too many lies that viewers find it hard to tell the truth from untruth. A classic case of this situation is the scam allegations she faced through this business venture she embarked on through her social media page. As Peach's following grew, she began a business model called Wake Up with Peach, where she was selling online courses through her platform, teaching people how to build social media followings, fix their credit, and start their own businesses. She did this for a fee of $5. It worked for a while, but some repeated problems began to surface. For every viewer who genuinely benefited from those classes, there seemed to be another one online complaining that they paid for a class and never got in, or paid for a product and never received it.
Looky there. There's people making videos saying my password didn't work. How my password didn't work for you, but it worked for 211 other people. There's people making videos saying that I didn't get them nothing but a QR code and I'm unprofessional.
Now it's possible that it truly might have been a technical glitch after all. Hundreds of people were able to log in, and what are the chances of those users being bots? However, the main issue here is that the scam allegations started to become part of Peach's online controversies and reputation, and her way of handling the situation gave more strength to the topic.
Y'all not so special where I would purposely ignore you for $5 like, make it.
Peach pushed back hard against these scam accusations, insisting that her website is automated and that any login issues are the fault of the customer, not her business.
Answer your question, no. You will not get into my class tonight just because you missed last night's class due to your own personal issues. Whether it was a user issue you don't know how to navigate, or it was you didn't know how to view your ticket information, that's all a user issue, or you forgot about it. I had no issues on my end, so you can't get in class, all right?
That kind of blunt and unapologetic response became something of a signature for Peach. She rarely, if ever, offers refunds, and she rarely admits fault when customers complain. Viewers repeatedly describe paying for multi-day programs only to have sessions canceled without warning or explanation, sometimes learning about the cancellation secondhand rather than from Peach herself.
I paid for a 21-day course of Wake Up with Peach. We did a week. Class was canceled with no explanation, no message or anything. And then I heard from other videos that there was a live where she was asked and just said, I don't give a fuck, and canceled the class. You pay for something, you don't get the full product of anything, and just a big...
Some didn't get the code to the classes after paying for them. Some even showed video recordings of the sessions, and it looked more like a Zoom sleepover than an empowerment class. Just like before, Peach responded in a live stream to these complaints by deflecting responsibility entirely and framing every failed login or missed class as the customer's own fault rather than a problem with her business. Unfortunately for her, her reputation as a scammer stuck. People began to open up about how Peach was into identity theft.
So that lady paid Peach $20,000 to promote her tax business, but word on the street is that lady do identity theft. So you file your taxes with her and she do fraud.
Not long after, the Wake Up with Peach course stopped getting reception and the more TikTok creators spoke against it.
Buy Peach McIntyre's courses. Do not buy Wake Up with Peach. She is not teaching you how to become a six-figure content creator. She scammed. This ain't doing shit, because she not teaching y'all shit. When y'all get that class, she playing y'all motherfucking face.
Between the gambling losses and the unstable income from her online classes, Peach's family faced eviction more than once. She actually used it as part of her own redemption story on her channel, framing hitting rock bottom as the turning point that pushed her to work harder. Meanwhile, CPS became an unwelcome but recurring visitor in Peach's life. She has blamed much of this on a woman she describes as Woodside Interest, someone she claims has repeatedly filed false reports against her out of jealousy or spite.
Is there anything that you could think of that might be causing these allegations to be made?
I'm a content creator. I have over 2 million followers on various social media platforms. It's the girl, her name is Felicia Mann. She lives in another state. I already gave this information to CPS previously. She keep making phone calls like this on me and other content creators. The girl on YouTube, she makes videos. She called the hospital, got my medical records, pretend like she was me. She makes videos and tell other people to call CPS.
Whether every single CPS call was truly malicious or not is hard for any outsider to know for certain, but the pattern of repeated visits paired with a public and volatile marriage has kept this part of Peach's story firmly in the spotlight. Her son Choice, who Peach has said has autism, was also badly burned in an incident at her mother's house, an event that deepened the already rocky relationship between Peach and Treasy.
And I got my bold Nissan Murano, and my husband at the time, was my baby daddy, had asked me could he drive it to the court.
That injury became one more reason Peach pulled away from her mother, adding another layer of resentment to their relationship. Speaking of this mother-daughter duo, let's take a deep dive into their relationship because these two act like oil and water and not flesh and blood.
They sit on YouTube, tear people down, talk bad about them, and you're not that type of person.
You are a narcissist, mama. Narcissists like the outside world to think that they're so perfect. But behind closed doors, when the cameras are off, you are a bitch. You are an evil bitch. You tear people down in real life, from me and Elwood to your husband to your family. Everybody hates to see you.
Peach has insisted that her mother's cruelty during childhood is the root of most of her adult struggles, especially her ongoing battle with depression and low self-worth. She repeated that she didn't know her mother anything, just because she gave birth to her.
Tracy, I have never vowed to take care of you. I owe you nothing at all. A lot of y'all black people, especially you older black people, y'all think that because your mother gave you life, that you owe her. I didn't ask for this life. I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask to be called fat hoes, ugly bitches. I didn't ask to bathe in your dirty bathwater. I didn't ask to be brought to shame in front of my entire family.
She claimed that her mother had so many baby daddies who picked them up from school. She also stretched how useless her mother was, that she had to assume some financial responsibilities around the house. Tracy has repeatedly denied being a neglectful or abusive parent. She said she never made her daughter pay bills when she was young, and was the one solely in charge of picking up her daughters from school.
Oh, child. When? I want to know when. And you talking about you ain't have a ride home from work. I'm the one that took you to work. I'm the one that picked you up at work from work at night. Not no baby dad. I took all my dolls and threw them.
Peach had also allegedly told the internet that her mother threw her dolls away and instructed her to go find a boyfriend. Once again, Treasy denied these allegations.
Find a boyfriend. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. But I'm finna address this because she's telling a lie. She telling a lie. I never took no baby dolls and threw any. I never took no baby dolls and threw them in the garbage and told her to go find a boyfriend. That's a lie. That is a lie.
Even the dirty bathwater incident where Peach had claimed that her mother would scrub her with alcohol, Treasy said it was a lie. She also pointed out that her son had attested to the fact that Peach was lying because the family used a shower and not a bathtub.
If you look at my videos, you see how clean I am. What I look like bathing a child in my dirty water. My son said, Mama, why would you listen to that? When we stayed in the house, remember, you ain't never have a bathtub. You always had a shower. I mean, never.
Treasy insisted that she never treated Peach the way that Peach describes, and said that she would never apologize for a lie.
Apologize for a lie. Never apologize for no lie. But I can take accountability for anything that I have done wrong. And anything that I have done wrong to one of my kids, I have apologized to them before. But I'm not finna keep apologizing. I'm not gonna do that.
Peach's own mother has pushed back on the idea that Peach's trauma started with Wood, insisting instead that Peach had a normal, happy childhood until she got involved with him as a teenager.
But y'all talking about the trauma started when she bought Greg home. Well, when she bought her husband Greg home. That's when the trauma started between us right there. That's when the relationship started. Because see, a mama want best for their child. He was no good then.
While it's not in anyone's place to dictate the genesis of someone else's trauma, it's still reasonable that Treasy didn't see Wood as husband-worthy from the beginning. Maybe the friction from her lack of acceptance caused the strain on her relationship with Peach, and it's possible that Peach blames her mother for this, and is using her childhood trauma to override the emotional turmoil she'd been facing with Wood.
And yeah, me and her had problems, falling out behind him. He didn't want her to do nothing for me. He didn't want her to give me nothing. None of that. But it's all right to give his mama. It's all right to look out for his mama, but not Peach's mama. The one, whenever she down, this mama coming running. Whenever them grandkids need, this grandma, she got it.
Anyone who listens to Peach and Wood's love story would agree that they're not good for each other. Yet Peach doesn't believe that her husband is the source or partaker of the emotional hardship she's enduring now. She flatly rejected her mother's claim and remains steadfast in her belief that the years of teasing and neglect were only to blame. For her, the pain started long before Wood ever entered the picture.
Everybody want to keep saying Wood. This has nothing to do with Wood. I don't understand why y'all don't understand that. Before I ever got with Wood, it was my mama. It was my family. I've been saying I was the black sheep this entire time. When my mama exposed Wood hitting her with a bottle, why he hit your mama, and what about his mama? She was deflecting and she was...
She claimed that her mother puts on an act for the internet when she tears people down in real life.
Because I've been letting this person tear my name down.
Yeah, she had to catch herself because she don't tell people down on camera. She do it in real life. She had to catch herself. Ooh, that thing wanted to come out so bad and talk to me how she normally do.
Drag my name through the mud, letting people coming at me, throwing this and that, talking about how I was and this and that. And people...
One thing to note in their dynamic is that Tracy often refers to Peach as this person in her videos, either to demonstrate their estrangement or out of fear for her safety. Tracy has claimed that Peach's fans, Peach Patch, had been harassing her because of Peach's narrative of her.
Drag my name through the mud, letting people coming at me, throwing this and that, talking about how I was and this and that. And people go by stuff that...
Peach has also disclosed that her mother got a retraining order for her for some reason.
She putting a restraining order on me. Not once did I ever say I'm putting a restraining order on my mama. Tracy, I'm not scared of you.
In all, they argue back and forth with Peach straight up tagging her mother and Treasy avoiding a direct confrontation. Peach has ranted online about how her mother, who was in her 50s, would often talk about what her father did to her as a child. Yet now that the tables are turned and Peach was the one talking about her own trauma, her mother was calling her a liar.
About what your daddy did to you, and you're 50, and I told her that on the phone. You in your 50s still talking about what your daddy did to you as a child. But when I bring up how you treated me and what you did to me as a child, oh, I'm a liar. So you a liar. We both liars, huh?
In her mind's eye, her mother keeps dragging issues with her now because she's jealous of her and how far she has come.
To you, hoe. You already dead to me. I don't give a fuck. I ain't telling nobody to hit my mama. I'm not telling you when you see my mama go fight my mama. I have never said that. This fight ain't even about me. My mama making it about me because she's jealous. And then
Treasy is tired of the drama now. In a normal setting, mothers and daughters shouldn't be exposing their ugly relationship online like this. Treasy has expressed that she would have expected this kind of hostility from a stranger on the street and not her own daughter.
You just get tired. You'll expect stuff from people off the streets. You'll expect people off the street to attack you, not your own child. When you used to work,
She's tried more than once to plead for peace publicly, describing the ongoing conflict with her daughter as one of the most painful experiences of her life. In one particularly emotional livestream, Treasy compared the constant public attacks to being physically beaten down, describing herself as exhausted from defending her own character over and over again.
Like, I think Mike Tyson just came and knocked... What's her name? Clarissa Shield? I think Clarissa Shield just came and put me in the boxing ring and put some good punches on me. That's how I feel right now. But you know what? I'm not finna let nothing break me. And that's what people got to understand. You're not gonna break me.
Treasy has said she tries to stay silent rather than fight back publicly, believing that engaging with the drama only feeds it further. Whether Peach will ever soften her stance toward her mother remains uncertain. Based on the pattern she has shown again and again, reconciliation does not appear to be high on her list of priorities. The two women have always gone back and forth for years, each accusing the other of lying, exaggerating, or rewriting history for views. But the crazy part is that the drama is not only limited to her mother. Peach's relationship with the rest of her family is arguably even messier. She had cut ties with several relatives, including her siblings, and eventually even her own father. The reasons behind these fractures depend entirely on who is telling the story, since almost every member of this family has at some point gone live on social media to give their own version of events. At one point, she called Child Protective Services on her own brother, accusing him of being an unfit father to his son. She's defended this decision by pointing out how much instability that child had already experienced.
Kids. I can't take him in my house, and he done experienced so much. Remember, Drill don't want your son around her son. Remember that? And that's because of child on child.
Peach's fights with her siblings have not stayed limited to her mother's side of the drama either. One half-sister named Akosha, in a clip that circulated widely among reaction channels, made it clear that she does not even consider herself and Peach to be true siblings, despite sharing the same father.
I know you have a long time running feud with your half-sister, correct? Peach McIntyre?
That's definitely not my sister.
Isn't that your dad's child?
That's my daddy. So that's my daddy's child. That's not my sister.
Akosha is Peach's transgender sister, but Peach still refers to her as her brother out of spite.
Seeing this person and a brother. Bitch, I ain't damn bitch brother.
Pierre Marcellus. You will forever be my brother. But you look good, bitch. It's definitely giving fish.
Akosha has said she was never close with Peach growing up and does not feel any obligation to defend or explain her behavior publicly, distancing herself from the endless cycle of family drama that seems to follow Peach everywhere she goes. Another sibling, a sister who goes by Mo, took things several steps further during an online back and forth, mocking Peach's appearance, her marriage, and her standing among their shared relatives.
The only, and I do mean the only people who care about you are the people who bond with you over trauma. Baby, I don't have trauma. I don't have those motherfucking problems. I grew up very privileged. I grew up with 2 loving parents. It may not have been our biological father, Pete McIntyre, but I have a daddy, have always had a daddy, still have a daddy who loves me, a mom who loves me, a grandmother.
This video came out in response to Peach's own, where she insulted Mo, calling her a mutt.
That has never, ever, 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 ever met me, to my knowledge. I've never.
Mo fired back with a barrage of insults, stating that Peach was not as important to her as she made it seem.
You're going back into the archives and finding videos from 2 years ago to create beef with somebody who does not think about you, does not mention you, does not watch you. I don't even waste my time watching content that is talking about you that you aren't even in, bitch, because you are non-existent to me, much like you are to your mama, much like you were to Pete, much like you are to even your own husband, baby. We don't think.
The beef between both sisters crossed a point of no return when Mo aired out one of Peach's dirty and ugly laundry. This revelation was about a time when Wood knocked up a young teen when he was between the age of 16 and 18.
Why are we not talking about the fact that your husband impregnated an 11, 12, or 13-year-old? We're a little hazy on the details of baby girl's age, but we definitely know she was in elementary school when your husband, who was of the age of maybe 16, 17, 18, impregnated.
Peach's family feud around this time was very disturbing and mind-blowing. Outside Wood's affair, Mo's attitude towards her sister was blunt and, frankly, cruel in parts, but it reflected a sentiment that seems to run through much of Peach's extended family. Several of her siblings see her in a negative light. For them, she's a headache. She's full of drama, always whining about the past when, really, she never made any attempts to better herself. They have also said, in one way or another, that they made real efforts over the years to bring the family together, only for Peach to repeatedly opt out of those efforts.
I sent Pete a message and told him, like, okay, you know, we got together, but he wasn't there. You get what I'm saying? It was my first time meeting Justin. It was my first time meeting Will. This was like 10 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So the siblings, we have all attempted to come together. We have all attempted to try to bring everyone together and form some type of relationship. But if you did not want to participate, we're not forcing it. Peach is one of the ones, she don't want to participate. We're not forcing it. She is now mad that the rest of us have relationships with each other.
Peach herself once posted about it in 2023. She claimed that her half-siblings tried to reach out to her, but she wasn't interested, because for her, the only siblings she had were her older sister Sandria and younger brother Edward.
I only have 2 siblings, that's Drill and Edward. You know, my mama kids. Y'all can stop making videos and leaving comments claiming me. I don't know y'all, and I don't want to know y'all. And everybody is so upset. They want to talk so. Well, some of my daddy children, my biological daddy that I don't talk to, that got like 20 kids, I don't know how many, decided to leave comments on my YouTube channel saying we're siblings and they want to get to know me. I don't want to know y'all.
Whether Peach's absence from these family gatherings came from genuine emotional protection or from stubbornness is something only she can really answer. But the effect on her relationships with her siblings has been the same either way. Most of them describe feeling like Peach only re-enters their lives to start conflict, never to actually reconnect. This kind of public family fighting reached its most uncomfortable point after the death of Peach's father, Pete. Pete had battled cancer for years, and by all accounts several of his children, including some who did not have close relationships with him, still made an effort to stay in contact during his illness. Peach chose a different path. She refused to visit him, even during his final months, and she did not attend his funeral after he passed away. What made this decision especially controversial was how she chose to announce his death publicly. Instead of mourning the loss of her father, Peach went online to celebrate.
These days of my life. And it sounds so evil, right? Society make you think you feel like you evil for this. What is evil is you living in the same city as your child and not consistently coming to see your child. What is evil is going with my mama and having 8 other women pregnant at the same time that you had my mama pregnant and you was her.
Now everyone experienced their parents a lot differently, but there's a time and place for everything. Talking about your past with your father right after his death is not the right time, and social media is not the right place. Peach could have chosen to do this in private and could have simply posted a condolence note to fulfill all righteousness. But instead, she made it all about her and her childhood, as if she had been doing that in the history of her internet career. As you would have guessed, her siblings did not hold back their reactions to this. One sister in particular used her own channel to publicly call Peach out, accusing her of exploiting their father's death for content and attention.
In his last few months of battling stage 4 cancer, she turned that shit into something else. So,
Other relatives piled on as well, pointing out that Pete had reportedly reached out to Peach during his illness, hoping his children could set aside their differences and come together as a family before it was too late. Peach has maintained that her father was never truly present in her life, and that grieving someone who caused her that much pain would have felt dishonest. Now, Pete might have been a ray of sunshine to the rest and not to her, but that doesn't mean that there were good qualities about him at all. Peach herself once expressed that she had learned about self-care from her father. The concept of traveling solo to enjoy personal time was something she learned from him.
I've been wanting to take a solo vacation for years. My daddy been told me that. My daddy said, Peaches, you need to travel by yourself. You need to just go see the world by yourself. Get to know Peaches without Wood. Get to know Peaches without her kids. Who are you with none of that?
Pete had advised her to take time away from her toxic husband to find some individuality. This is quality advice that you can give someone like Peach. And apart from that, there's also the fact that her hustler spirit stemmed from the nature of her upbringing. Bad as it was, it still empowered her with a sense of dedication to making money. So, it's not entirely hard for her to see the good in her past and cast the bad aside for a moment of silence. But Peach didn't do that. Instead, she reminded her family of the reason why they found her to be difficult in the first place. When you've been made public enemy number one in the face of family and strangers alike, it's only reasonable to keep controversial content to a minimum. If you're a problem to everyone around you, it's clear that you're the problem, and no amount of victim playing can fix that. Due to her actions, every relative had something negative to say about her, and with this behavior towards her father's death, it fueled more resentment than favor towards her. Peach remained unfazed by the backlash all around for her lack of empathy, and it turned out that her late father wasn't the only one to bring out that side of her. Outside family, Peach did something similar in one of her live streams. A woman reached out to Peach online explaining that she was battling brain cancer and hospitalized, and asked for financial help. Peach's response, filmed and posted for her audience, shocked even some of her most loyal fans.
Battling brain cancer, hell no, I don't care that you got cancer. And I they gonna screenshot it and say I'm mean. I'm the wrong motherfucker to beg for him. I don't do charity. I don't do philanthropy at all. I am a for-profit motherfucker. If it don't make me no money, I don't give a fuck. I don't give to people and pretend like I'm giving it to them because I care.
As anyone would expect, she received backlash immediately. People across social media accused Peach of being heartless.
Comment lacked empathy. Y'all act like most of us don't have a first or second degree connection with somebody that has lost their battle to cancer or won their battle against cancer. Cancer is not that rare. She doesn't have to care, but on the same note, she also didn't have to read that comment and make that response out loud. She could have read it in her mind.
Some also believed that she had done that on purpose so she could trend and push her name up the algorithm. By rage baiting people, they would speak about her and draw more attention to her page.
What is Peach McIntyre gonna do? How is she going to get her name in the algorithm this month to make the money? How is she going to rage bait people So now she says something about she don't care about people having cancer. Y'all, don't do it. Make your little one video, your little two videos, and move on. She know exactly what she's doing.
This could be true, but it's still enough to warrant outrage. A bad reputation would still harm her in the long run. Following the outrage, many internet users called for her to apologize. She refused, standing by her original comments and insisting that being blunt about her lack of interest in charity was simply part of who she is.
What I said, y'all can't bully me. You cannot bully an apology out of me. I don't give a fuck. I'm at the grocery store, making sure my house full of food without motherfucking food stamps. I don't give a fuck what you hoes going through. I'm going to continue to get on the internet, aka come to work. A bitch could post me on every black vlog. Post me on the white ones too. Post me on the white ones too. Post me on the white ones.
She said that she wasn't afraid to lose followers because she could still earn money with less than 500,000 followers.
Still won't get an apology out of me. I say what I mean what I say, and I'll be okay with the motherfucking consequences. So what if I lose all my followers? I keep telling you dumb fucks, you don't have to have 500,000 followers to get paid. You don't even have to have 2. The thing is, more people are looking at me. I'm still having my content creator class in a little bit. My house is literally filled with food.
This lack of empathy caused viewers to lose more faith in her because Peach herself had come online to beg the internet for prayers. She asked for prayer when her twins were in the NICU, but couldn't care less about someone who was battling brain cancer. For the longest time, Peach had made it seem as if the world had done her wrong, and she couldn't act right due to past trauma. But what excuse can she have for not possessing basic human decency? Peach once told American rapper Ty Taylor from the music group called Taylor Girls that her daughter was her downfall in a live stream.
I'm so evil and I'm so this and I'm such a hater. I'm such all these things. Why have God never had me have a downfall in life? Do you understand how big and how powerful that is? Bitch, I ain't never had to. I ain't never missed a meal. Bitch, since I came out my mama coochie, I ain't never.
She explained that the reason for their beef is that she believes that Taylor is trying to destiny swap her.
The reason why I got beef with Ty is because I feel like she tried to destiny swap me. I really believe in destiny swapping. I really do.
Bro,
everything times 3. You can
First
go
gift
ahead.
times 3, y'all.
Everything times 3. First gift, go big. Go big.
Right here, y'all, go big. Big gift.
There we go.
She believed that Ty was trying to trick her out of her destiny based on their successes, but that's not enough reason for her to insult her child. For someone who talks extensively about childhood and kids, Peach's words were very insensitive. She has no sense of right time, right place. One of the strangest examples of Peach putting her online drama ahead of her own children happened during a family trip to Disney World. Rather than spending the day focused on her kids, Peach spent much of the visit live streaming a TikTok battle with another creator named Kane, comparing monthly earnings while her children rode along in a wagon in the extreme summer heat.
Thanks for the gift bag.
That's all I made, $52.85. I've been
Girl,
live
that say
for
$500.
That's my other money.
Oh. Well, excuse my broke ass. She said that's my other check, boo. That's my
That's my weekly money. You get weekly
That's
money
my
and then you
other
get your...
It's very odd for a mother to spend a family vacation arguing online about follower counts and payout numbers instead of actually being present with her kids. Even with her children crying in the background, they kept talking about the money they cash out each month on Snapchat and TikTok.
biggest month on Snapchat was $75,000.
Oh, that's good. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yep. The biggest month. That was like after I had BB. I think it was the month of November. I made $75,000.
That ain't bad.
And then the lowest month, even when I barely post, the lowest month on Snapchat be like probably 45.
45.
Peach herself was cashing out on TikTok. In June 2026, she posted a screenshot of her payment for the month, which was $14,000. This is from her new account, though, which has over 200,000 followers. Peach has experienced repeated bans from TikTok, some tied to her comments about the cancer situation, others tied to unrelated controversies. Each ban reportedly wiped out whatever earnings she had built up on the platform, since TikTok does not return lost income to banned accounts. In the final loss, she had accumulated 548,000 followers before she was banned and lost the money in the account.
1,000 followers on TikTok. The bitches just took my TikTok again with all my money in it again.
If you're wondering whether...
She had $9,000 on that particular account. Despite claiming these losses did not bother her, Peach has admitted on more than one occasion that losing access to a platform where she had built a large following felt like starting over from nothing again. And she always bounced back with a new account. She had over 10 TikTok pages before they were shut down.
from TikTok. You all know this. I have 10 other TikTok pages. However, after much reflection today, I decided, forget it. You guys win. You can have TikTok. I'll move on to other things.
Now she has a new one that she opened in November 2025.
This is my real page. This is my only page. Now we might only have it for about a couple days, but while we have it, we will utilize it, okay? Peanut Bentley is the name. That's my new TikTok.
Peach claimed that this recent one was not created to be monetized, but to attract followers for her hair content.
Yes, this is my real TikTok page. Peanut Bentley is the name. It's the name of this TikTok. I may have it for just a couple days. The goal isn't to get it monetized. The goal is to make sure the stylist who do my hair get a TikTok video posted, and that video brings some new followers and new potential customers.
Yes, Peach gets her money from being a hair influencer. It's what her current platform is built on. Sometimes this career path still lands her in unexpected trouble, and one of those instances was a recent incident at a restaurant in Lakewood Ranch in April 2026. Peach was shooting content about mashed potatoes being white people's food.
Mashed potatoes is white people food. Y'all ain't no real Jamaicans. The beach patch, right? I don't want this shit.
However, a patron in the area who saw the skit was upset by it, because according to him, she had said it in front of his daughters.
I have to continue to say it's white people food. It doesn't matter if you don't want to hear it. It's freedom. It's freedom of speech.
I don't give a damn. We ain't pay you to
The mashed potatoes is white people food for my video. We didn't pay you to come to serve it. Okay, they white. Mashed potatoes is good, but that's not what I want.
Peach claimed that this kind of skit was approved by the business owner she was representing, and she had done it several times over for others too. In a video she posted the following day, she also stated that she had gotten inspiration for this mashed potato version when a white man ordered it earlier that day at the casino.
I actually went to Fresh Harvest Buffet, and there was a white man there with his friends, and he said, "Where's the white people food?" And I thought it was hilarious. I never heard of white people food. He was like, the mashed potatoes and the corn. I actually caught that on camera. And even after he found it, he saw me and said that he found the white people's food. So that's what helped me do.
Little did she know that not everyone thinks of mashed potatoes like that. The gentleman at the restaurant wasn't gentle at all. He called her racist and reported her to people around in the hopes that he could disrupt Peach's session. Then when nothing happened in return, the man took the case to the property manager. This manager arrived at the scene and tried to record the situation on tape, but Peach quickly overcame it by advertising her brand.
Yep. Hi, everybody. Follow me on social media. My name is Peach McIntyre on all platforms. Are you done with your video? Wash it.
Things escalated when the manager called Peach racist and said that she had broken the law and had to leave for making their guest uncomfortable.
So she's saying that me saying that it's white people food is me being racist, and you said it's a violation of the Fair Housing Act.
Yes,
for
ma'am.
me to say that it's white people food, even
It's
though
a
that's a violation of
Housing
my
Act.
freedom of
As a
speech.
resident,
I'm not a
you are not
resident.
supposed- but we're only allowed to excuse you. If someone has come to complain to me that they feel that they have been spoken to in a racist way, we have a right to ask you to leave.
But I
our
wasn't
community
talking to
area.
him.
I don't care. Your language is offensive. You can either comply with my request or you can get out. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm not.
Peach refused to comply because she believed her statement wasn't directed at anyone. She stood her ground and maintained that she didn't break any rules, and her freedom was in fact violated. The series explaining this incident eventually ended with the cops pulling up at the location.
1. There's car number 2 to trespass me. All right. So I don't know. Should I wait for the trespass?
Nothing happened afterwards, or maybe Peach was sued and didn't post about it. But regardless, her social media life went on as usual and she continued to rack up endorsements. Despite the controversies, Peach is well known online and many businesses still patronize her because her platforms have large followings. A hairstylist in Florida once paid her $1,111.11 to braid her hair.
Motherfucking mind. We trapping outside of Walgreens today. I'm going to be getting my hair slayed on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. Bye. Get a little day in. All right, you got that money for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all ain't getting money like that out here in Orlando.
$111 and
Gotta have that change. I want you to count it for me. You want to count it for me or you want me to count it for you?
let's go 20, 40, 60.
This is the kind of transaction she embarks on to pay her bills. Yet she still has a house husband who zaps everything with the speed of light. Their gambling addiction is still an appalling feature between the pair, especially Peach. She would talk about the dangers of gambling, but would so often return to the casino floor within weeks, sometimes days, of swearing it off. It's part of the reason why reputation went down the drain. Another reason, and possibly the biggest of them all, is her lies. Peach's public image took another hit as more clips surfaced, showing her contradicting herself across different videos. Other creators, especially those who built entire channels reacting to her content, have made a habit of compiling these contradictions, pointing out moments where Peach claimed something publicly, only to be caught doing the opposite on camera. This creator named Toya expressed her disbelief when Peach recorded at Publix after claiming that it was not allowed.
Throughout 3 of her videos, she has a Publix video. And she's telling everybody, Publix doesn't allow you to video in their store. But then you see her shopping in Publix, buy one, get one, using Lick on another reel.
Another contradiction is this one, particularly around the paternity of her children. Peach has said publicly, more than once, that all 9 of her kids belong to Wood. Yet older clips exist where she says that Choice would be Wood's first son, when in fact, he already had a son named Gregory McKay.
Blessing. That's his middle name, and Underwood is his last name. My family doesn't like it, but I love it. It has a lot of meaning. Daddy didn't want a baby. I wanted baby. He was acting like I didn't have a choice, like all I could do was abort, but I chose to keep it, and now I'm gonna have a little boy, and it's gonna be his first son. So.
Does this mean that Gregory McKay isn't Peach's son with Wood, or was baby Choice the first son of another baby daddy? This clip raised a lot of questions, and it showed that Peach might not be an honest and authentic creator after all. There are secrets in their family. Well, all families have their own private stories, but when you're a creator who profits off of being a transparent family person, it's bad if you do something to destroy that image you've built around yourself. Peach is completely the embarrassing mother you wouldn't want to have. Her behavior has attracted a lot of trolls to her channel, and it's bad to the point that throwing insults at her looks like a flex.
That shit back there. Can you turn around real quick and give us a sneak peek of how tight that motherfucker is behind your fucking head?
Are you gonna give us a game, or are you just gonna try to make me not like myself?
You can't you don't like yourself. You can tell now you got a smell to yourself.
Okay, so you have a phenomenal day on purpose.
Okay, fuck your day.
Okay, thank you.
She's a mother of so many kids who kept crying about her loveless marriage and still bounced back with videos of her making out with her cheating husband. With her kind of content, only heaven knows how her children would handle it later in the future. She speaks about childhood trauma and generational curse as if she's actually trying to break away from it, but who knows if she's laying the foundation for another pattern that her kids will live through. They say what goes around comes back around. We've seen how Peach talks to and about her mother in an insultive tone. It wouldn't be surprising if after all the care and caution, her own kids do the same to her. There's already a case from last year's Mother's Day, where Peach didn't get the love and attention she wanted. Of her 9 children, only her daughter Gorgeous acknowledged her that day. Her son, who runs his own content platform and reportedly earned $10,000 in his first month as a creator, did not do anything for her.
Is married with 9 children, and I was so sad for her yesterday because she said that her only daughter, Gorgeous, was the only one out of the entire family that got her something for her. Her son, Greg, is literally a content creator. Look how many followers he have here on TikTok. This is him on YouTube, and she literally was bigging him up the other day, saying that he just made his first $10,000 from content. Come on, Greg. You know you could have got your mother.
Peach had poured so much financial support into her family over the years without the same acknowledgement in return. Right now, she has fallen off. No one even believes or pays attention to her quarrels with her husband because the script is overused now.
Ring you will ring. Not no more. I ain't winning no more. I'm tired of saying I'm married to a nigga that ain't married to me. Fuck you.
Get off right here.
Yes, please get off right here. So I could get away from you. I'm finna get out.
I ain't doing shit to you.
You doing everything to me.
No, I'm not.
I'm finna get